Can you guys all hear me okay? It seems very loud up here, so it's good? Okay, great. So we are here to talk about fall's 5 biggest eyewear fashion trends and how those tie into clothing and fashion trends and designer trends that came off the runways. And yes, and we have some fantastic eyewear to show you. And we'll have a model who is Elle here from TNG in Las Vegas, and she's going to walk around, wear the eyewear, and show everything to you as we talk about the trends. So obviously you're all here because you're interested in fashion trends, but I have a kind of a fun quote from Marc Jacobs that talks a little bit about fashion trends and why they matter for your business. So he says, the customer is the final filter. What survives the whole process is what people actually wear. I'm not interested in making clothes that end up in some dusty museum. So from a product perspective, no doubt the goal in your optical is to provide great fashion products and an excellent mix of eyewear that appeals to your patients. We do a lot of research at Eyecare Business, and we survey our readers, and we send different surveys out almost on a monthly basis. Our 2018 Frame and Sunwear survey revealed that eyecare professionals rank frame styling as the second most important feature of all features when considering products to buy. The first, which I'm sure you won't be surprised at, is construction quality, so quality of the frame. So obviously style is very important. In general, fashion is a $1.2 trillion business globally, with more than $250 billion spent annually in the U.S. So we're seeing, and we just had an appointment earlier that it was with a company that has a lot of designer brands, and they were saying this year was the most they have ever had eyewear on the designer runways, and we're seeing that more and more, tons of eyewear. With Eyecare Business, but we are a monthly magazine for the the independent eye care professional, and we go out to about 40,000 readers every month, and we've been around for 31 years. And this is our publisher, Mark Durek, who's doing our live streaming. So, okay, so first I would like to introduce Julia Gagosha. Julia is an optician, and she has 2 fantastic shops in LA, Gagosha Optique, and they are both, one's in Silver Lake, is that right? Okay, yes, so really kind of high-end, beautiful, design-focused, that's great, thank you, eyewear. And this is our associate editor, Carrie-Ann Ramo, over here. She is amazing. She pulled all of our eyewear for this event. She made up all of our trend boards, so you'll get to see all of her great work here. Carrie-Ann handles all of our new product coverage, and she helps out with our photo shoots. And like I said, this is Elle from TNG Models, and she will be walking around showing you the different eyewear that we have today. Okay, we'll get started. So our first trend, as you can see, one of my personal favorites for the season is animal prints. We've seen a lot of this come down the runway. So the first frame that she's showing you here is a Fish UK optical style from West Group. We just featured this in our soon to come out October issue. It is beautiful. It's kind of, you have to look a little more closely at it to really see it, but it's covered in a leopard print, and it has this great kind of brow bar metal insert up in the top. It has, when the light hits it, it pops this kind of cool purple leopard print, which is great for an optical frame. Leopard's certainly much easier to put onto a sunglass, but this is a great rendition in optical. So the second style she's going to come around with is a fossil style from Cephalo. This style is a personal silhouette and a classic in fashion for fall, and that's on the inside of that frame. So as you can see here on the trend board, this is from our fashion shoot in our September issue. Leopard, these are a Dolce & Gabbana on here. This is a Jimmy Choo. It's just all over, right now, the leopards, and it can be a head-to-toe look, or it can just be accessories or a little pop like eyewear or a handbag. This style is the Jimmy Choo sunglass style. It's from Safilo with a snakeskin inspired print along the front rim. And this was a star style in Jimmy Choo's fall-winter campaign. And then when she's back, the last style she'll show for this trend is a Burberry frame. It's another optical frame in a tortoise that kind of really ties in with the look of the trend. So again, we're seeing leopard prints, we're seeing tiger print, all that good fun stuff. So, and now I'll kind of check in with Julia in the real world, when someone is interested in this type of trend. Who's the does that fit everybody? Does it work for, are there different incarnations of the trend that can work?
There is, yeah. You can, It's a really lovely way to be able to incorporate a pattern and still be able to remain neutral. So it allows you to wear it in so many different ways, but it's a little more that way as well.
Which is great. And we actually saw, and we'll show you on our last trend, that we're seeing animal prints for men as well.
Definitely.
So it's kind of getting seeing a lot of animal print shirts. Anybody gonna wear animal print shirts out there? Not so much. Maybe. Okay. Exactly. So our next trend is mirrored lenses and kind of this vivid color that we're seeing, real pop colors. So the first frame Elle is wearing is a police sunglass from Dorigo Rim. It's a really bold style. We also featured this in our September issue fashion shoot. And it has this cool glitter injected rubber bridge on the top. It is like just a stunning frame, and it's really, kind of bold but still very wearable. And we also, this is a shot over here on the right from our fashion shoot. So the next frame she will wear is a Michael Kors sunglass from Luxottica. These sunglasses really make a cool modern statement, and they have kind of a geometric flash lens. This is the same one on the trend board that she's wearing. Yeah, so you can see it up here as well with these purple, cool, vivid lenses. So the color you'll see, this is caved off the runways, but it's also really permeating fashion right now, are these like neon pop colors, and then this pink, this kind of super vivid pink, like the chairs you're sitting on, is really, really hot this season. So we're even seeing that little hits of that on frames, but definitely in lenses. There is so much going on. Lenses are almost like the new fashion area of eyewear, because there's been so much focus on the frame, but now there's so much going on in lenses. There's printing on lenses and different colors. It's really, really cool. So she is now wearing a Polaroid sunglass from Safilo. It's an oversized square shape, and it's very wearable and fashion forward, and it's a gold frame paired with pink rose gold lenses. So kind of another oversized, big, beautiful frame. So, and as we were saying, this trend, obviously it could be an all-over color trend, or it could be kind of pops of color. These Prada bags, the neon bags, real kind of fun pops of color. So eyewear is a great way to show this trend. And then the final sunglass she'll wear for this trend is from Michael, of one that combines a classic shape and chunky acetate, but with those lenses in there. Really classic, beautiful, very feminine eyewear, but has that lens pop in there for sure. So Julia, on this trend, And obviously this is a sunglass focus trend because it's all about the lenses and the colored lenses. Is this easy enough for everybody to wear?
I think it's definitely easy enough. It's because you can also have different opacities in the colors. You can still do it in optical if you want to make a huge impact and make that an iridescent part of your wardrobe.
That's fine.
But always consider the lenses as its own way to modernize either something someone already has and loves and wants to make it feel like current for this particular season. But you can either match it and make it a part of your ensemble, or you can make it that one pop of color that you're wearing and have that be the focus. But depending on your opacity, and you can do rainbow ones as well. You know, there's ones that change colors based on what angle you're looking at. But you want to remember, if it's completely solid, it gives you a little anonymity in the world. You get to kind of look out and no one sees you. But at the same time, if you're going a little lighter, you might want to remember that.
Yeah. So do most optical labs have the capability to do like the rainbow? And do you have your own in-house lab? Or you
for the mirrors we send out. So there's definitely different labs that specialize in different types of mirrors, and both RX and Plano. Yeah.
That's great. Cool. That's an exciting side angle to think about with the RX, because it could be anything.
Yeah.
Okay, trend number 3 is red, another color, but this color was so strong that we held it out as its own trend. So the first frame she's modeling here is a Burberry sunglass. It's a cherry red, chunky cat eye, and it has 2 large Burberry logos on the side. So this was another trend that we saw a lot of. We didn't call it out as its own trend, but it's definitely happening in eyewear as well as fashion. These big, bold logos all over clothes, all over shoes, and obviously on the eyewear. It went away for so long. Logos and branding was so big, and now it is back. So the second pair she's going to wear is a Longchamp optical style from Marchand, and it's a poppy red front with these kind of beautiful translucent pink temples. So red optical styles are a great departure from standard hues, and this, so a lot of them are very wearable. It doesn't have to be the kind of, Sally Jesse Raphael red that was from years ago. It's tough. Red can be tough to wear, but there are a lot of really pretty reds out there in eyewear. So as you can see, a lot of head-to-toe red, Pantone color here is red, and that is just really one of their frames, one of the hues that they called out for the season. So the next frame she'll wear is a Carrera sunglass from Safilo. And red is really a staple color for Carrera. That's kind of one of their branding colors, but this time they bring it to the lenses. And it's really kind of beautiful, very wearable. It has like a pinkish red lens in here. And then the last frame she'll model when she's back is a Valentino optical style, and it's a perfect example as red as an accent hue. So it kind of just has little pops of red if someone doesn't want to wear a full red frame. Anything kind of bright. It's a crystal front with overlapped metallic red detail. So Julia, and obviously there's different ways to go with red as just a little accent on the frame, or somebody really can go bold with a big red. How is that, like, and even for like coloring, can everybody get away with red? Is there a red for everyone?
There is a red for everyone. So I think every woman knows there's a red for everyone because we've tried every red lipstick imaginable.
So true.
So there's warm and cold, tomatoey and bluey. There's so many different ways to wear red. The same if it's more transparent, more cherry, more candy, more burgundy, a little softer. So there's a million different reds, and it's definitely a power color. And it doesn't need to match. I think a lot of people are either afraid their red is too specific, and it might be too strong and doesn't go with a lot of different makeup. But I think to me it really does. Like, I would wear red right now with purple lips, and make it a contrast and make that really playful. But you can make red super elegant, and even though we're not highlighting it at the moment, red is super pervasive in men's eyewear. And it's a really powerful statement. And in the U.S., like, we do black, we do tortoise, like gray, like those are our colors. But in France, red is the top. Like, goes black and red, and like tortoise is down here. So,
nothing
red,
boring.
Yeah, nothing. And it's signature. It can be like just like the Sally Jesse became the signature. It can be your own personal signature depending on if you make it you know, if it's catty, it becomes a little more playful. You can play with it and make it more menswear shapes,
Right.
and do it in like a more burgundy tone, and that would be really incredible. So
It's very wearable.
yeah, so it's fun to play with.
That's awesome. Well, that's good to know. So red is for everyone. Okay, trend number 4. This is plays on the specs rim. So this is a super cool frame. That looks so good on you. She's kicking off this trend with a Giorgio Armani sunglass. It's an opaque upper layer on the frame, and it has a really high fashion look. Beautiful, beautiful pair of sunglasses. And so this trend is, really ties into fashion, into the whole cutout look of fashion that's happening. And it's been happening for a few seasons now, but like the cold shoulder look and the whole cutouts in different zones and sheer cutouts. And this really has translated into eyewear into almost like a cutout look on the frame, where there's plays on the specs rim, there's extensions on top of the specs rim. The one that she's going to come around with now is a Swarovski sunglass from Marcolin. It's another really pretty sunglass, and it kind of has a multi-layered look, and it pairs black and gray elements for a look that's very dimensional. And it has kind of some real subtle, obviously it's Swarovski, so it has some subtle crystal details on the edges and on the temples. So, once she's back, the next style she's going to show you is a police style that Carrie Ann has up here, and that's from Dorigo Ram again, and that pairs a classic tortoise layer on the top rim with a seasonal gold front and temples. Very pretty, definitely a little bit more wearable, a little bit less gold and kind of over the top, but still a very pretty way to show that trend. So Julia, do you feel, this is a trend also probably for everyone, and it has different incarnations as well.
Yeah, I love the dimensions of it. It allows you to pair something that could be really classic and give it another dimension, and not to be too repetitive with that, but it becomes a bit more intimate, because from far away it's something a bit familiar, and the closer someone gets to you, they really start seeing the detail, and it allows different parts of the features of the face to be highlighted. So depending on where they're layered, it can really play the brow line and the cheekbone and your jawline all at the same time.
Great point. Yeah, it can highlight different areas of the face that you want to draw attention to.
Absolutely.
Well, that's good.
So I think it's very much an enhancement. I think that's why they're designed that way. It's to enhance a shape that already exists and bring another layer, another dimension to another point of interest.
Right.
And so I think you want people, if it's part of your face, it keeps someone's interest.
Yes.
It's not just one, it's not flat.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I love it. And I think we have one more. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, when we'll kind of transition. But this is a really cool, I want to show this one because I like it, because it has because I like it. Because it has this kind of extension. So it's not like the others were almost part of the frame, but this is like a rim extension off the top of the frame. And you can see it here on the top of the trend board. And we also did something similar. This was a Marc Jacobs frame that we did for our photo shoot for our September issue. But they just have these kind of wire extensions off the top of the frame. Real fun and red. And you can see here on the trend board too, the Marc Jacobs sweatshirt. That's part of that whole logo thing, where it's just big, and we just have big crystals and jewels all over the sweatshirt with the brand logo on there. Okay, our trend number 5, our last women's trend, is modernized retro shapes. So retro comes and goes, and it is back with a vengeance this season. The first frame she's wearing is a Click Denmark optical style from West Group. It is a really fresh, modified cat eye look. It has kind of some sharper edges on the ends there on the cat eye part of it. And so this trend, we saw a lot of, and again, this is a shot from our fashion shoot in our September issue. This is a really beautiful Celine frame from Telios, and it's got this gorgeous retro look to it, really cool lenses in there that lend to really channel that 60s and 70s look. We saw a lot of 60s come down the runway, a lot of 70s with the bell bottoms are back, and Eyewear is obviously following suit with that. So the next style she'll show is a guest sunglass from Marcolin. And we totally love these gradient blue lenses. It's just, and the kind of flat lens there, really pretty. And it's just kind of has a real appeal to it. So, Julia, is retro for everybody? Can that work? Or do you really have to have a personality or a style where you want that?
I think you have to identify with it. So I think with retro styling, what I've experienced is if someone has a relationship with the shape that reminds them of a person,
yes,
then it needs to feel very personal to you when you're wearing it. And if it's too reminiscent of something that doesn't feel like yourself, it feels like someone else.
Right.
At that point, I don't find that
doesn't
works.
Work. Yeah.
But it definitely can if you're open to it. But some people just aren't open to repeating something or making something too familiar or doing it again. So I think that's why the modernization of the retro look is important, and I think it's more important to highlight that it's a modern take on something familiar when talking with the client, so they don't live in the past of it.
Exactly, and that's the thing really with the trend, is that it is a modern take on the retro. So there's definitely they're all kind of shifted and designed in a way that's definitely more modern. So this frame, which you cannot miss, is a totally wild Calvin Klein frame, and it's been seen. This was actually shown on Calvin Klein's runways for fall 2018, and it's a really futuristic. There's that neon hue coming back into play, and it's just obviously a really modernized take on the cat eye. And that kind of fun. It almost has an 80s feel to it as well. And the last frame she's going to wear is a Smith optical style from Cephalo. It's a silhouette that really never ever goes out of style. It has that kind of 50s appeal to it. Real fun optical. And it gets a modern update with the angular chunky acetate here. So
Retro means so many different things. You have this extreme teardrop, more like an almond cat eye, and then you have this, the super menswear brow line. So there's so many things.
Right. Like if you identify with any of those things, then they kind of fit. But retro it's like, and it's not limited to just 60s and 70s. There's even 80s, in there, and 90s coming into play. Okay, so we have one more trend, which is our bonus trend, which is our men's trend board and some men's styles that Elle will model, because obviously, I'm sure you guys see this too, is that so much of what's out there today is unisex. And we're seeing that more than ever before in eyewear, and a lot of that is being presented as unisex options. So the first one she's got on here is an emphatic optical style from West Group. It's a rectangular, also has the retro feel to it, so men are experiencing the retro trend in addition to their snakeskin shirts, and you'll see many of these men's styles, obviously like this one, is definitely unisex. Really pretty. So the next one is a John Varvatos sunglass from Dorigo Rem, and it has a floating brow bar look that we know and love. Really cool, beautiful blue on there. Really beauty hue on those frames. And John Varvatos really is a men's line, but we find that so many of the styles are unisex for John Varvatos, for sure. So for men, again, we saw a lot of the same trends. We saw color pops, we saw that retro feel, and then obviously the animal prints, for sure. So, and when she comes back, she's going to wear a Tom Ford sunglass that is part of that retro trend. It's a total throwback look, but really modernized again. Just real, real cool. I imagine designers had so much fun, like modernizing the retro stuff. That's great. Does it fit? You gotta, we can hold it on. Okay. It's a little heavy. So Julia, for men, same thing, like for all these different trends. So for color, for retro, for
sure. I think it's all
prints.
about it. It has to do a lot with scale, and if you can make it thinner or thicker depending on how bold you want to be and how much impact you want to have. And it's a lot to do with cut as well. So I think just like in clothes, it depends on how bold you want your statement to be. You can cut it boxier or more shapely, or you can have it more tapered and tailored.
To fit a different face shape.
Absolutely, and also a different mood. You know, it can be a little, if it's thinner or smaller, it's a little bit more pensive. It can be a little more serious. Bolder can have a lot more impact. So it's really what you want to say with your eyewear, and it's, you know, we're living in a time that you can say anything you want.
It's so true, right? It is true. So the last style she's got on here is a Bristol optical style, and it has Bristol has a real distinctive look. It's definitely a retro kind of throwback look, but it's has a real modern vibe to it as well. It's a honey tortoise look, and that really illustrates this trend for men. So that wraps up our trends part, and I hope you can take some ideas away from here and some trends and use them in your optical or use them in whatever it is that you do in eye care and eyewear. And I'm going to turn it over to any audience questions in a minute, but I'm going to finish with another favorite fashion quote of mine. It's from one of the original supermodels, Lauren Hutton, who we had the privilege to meet and photograph for Eyecare Business many years ago when she had her own line. Remember, you guys have that a long time ago. And she said, fashion is what you're offered 4 times a year by designers, and style is what you choose. So there's a lot of style and fashion and options out here, but you make it your own for your customer, for your own optical, for whatever's going to work for you. So thank you so much for joining us. And we have a little giveaway. It's this kind of fun, we got it off of Etsy, and it's a fun little print, ocular anatomy, and has a fun little illustration in there, and then the parts of the eye, and it's something that could be framed and put into your office or your house or wherever you would like it. So we're going to give it away to the person who asks the first question.
That was easy. Thank you.
Sure.
I just had a question about the RX lenses, because when you were talking about the mirrored lenses, you talked about RX Labs that you got the mirrored lenses from. So I just wanted to know how that worked, or which labs you use for the mirrored lenses.
I'll speak with my my store manager on who we're using for our RX lenses and and who's mirroring them for us. But we've been doing it for many years now. And so it's nice because you can change the opacity of it. You can do a small base tint if you want. But it needs to be for people who are very patient, because it's about 4 to 6 weeks. So it's for someone who they're aware that they're getting something quite special. And with the mirrors, it's also like someone buying suede or something to that effect. It has a different care. So that's something that they should be aware of, and it's great as part of someone's wardrobe. But if it was their main piece, I don't know if it's the first thing I would do. But yeah, I'll text them for you. You're welcome.
Anybody else? Sorry, we have no more giveaways.
So, between the different fashion trends you had pointed out, a number of them were characterized by the strong brow line. So with the animal print, the gold inlay, with the red, there was one that had the red inserted across the brow line. A couple of the retros had strong, chunkier brow lines. Is that also a trend we've seen?
Nice insight. That was pretty good. Trend spotter. So we actually covered that trend in from Vision Expo East, right? That was in our coverage after the show, that the brow line is getting a lot of attention. So where you'll just see that inset, of a metal piece, or even crystals up there. The brow line is definitely, so that was a great trend that you picked out for sure. We didn't cover it as a trend board, but because we wanted to just keep it a little bit shorter with all 5, but there are so many more trends out there for sure going on. Definitely, and that's probably pretty wearable for everybody, right? It's just like a fun little hit of, yeah. Anybody else? All right, cool. Well, thank you guys for coming. We so appreciate you joining us, and we hope to see you on the show floor.